Some days are quieter than others. Not because something has gone wrong, and not because something important is missing, but because the day itself has chosen a slower rhythm. I notice it early, in the way the morning light enters the room without urgency, touching familiar surfaces as if it has all the time in the world. The room feels settled, as though it has already been awake for a while, waiting patiently for me to join it. Nothing asks me to move faster. Nothing pulls my attention away. I sit for a moment before doing anything at all, letting the quiet arrive fully. There was a time when days like this unsettled me. Silence felt unfinished, like a task left undone. I used to believe that stillness meant I was falling behind. I don't believe that anymore. Quiet days are not empty. They are spacious. They give everything room to exist without being rushed aside. The house makes its small, ordinary sounds, the kind that don't announce themselves. They have always been here. But today, I hear them more clearly. Today, the slowness feels intentional, and that feels right. Nori is nearby, not doing anything, not waiting for a signal, just staying. That presence is steady in a way that doesn't ask to be acknowledged. It reminds me that not everything meaningful needs to move or change. Some things matter because they remain exactly as they are. I think about how much of my life was spent preparing for what came next, planning, organizing, anticipating, always leaning forward into the future, rarely allowing myself to settle into the present. Back then, slowness felt uncomfortable, almost irresponsible. Now it feels like permission to stay where I am without apology or explanation. Some days do not need to be filled. They are already complete. I make my tea the same way I always do. The routine carries its own gentle rhythm. My hands know what to do without instruction, and there is comfort in that familiarity. The warmth of the cup rests in my palms, and I return to my seat, letting time stretch without resistance. I no longer measure my days by what I manage to accomplish. I measure them by how they feel to live inside. Today feels gentle. My thoughts move slowly, no longer competing for attention. Memories drift in and out without asking to stay. I let them pass. I've learned that not every memory needs to be held. Silence no longer presses in on me. It opens. It creates space for breathing, for noticing, for simply being. Nori remains nearby as the light shifts across the floor. The consistency feels grounding. It reminds me that stability does not need to be loud to be strong. The world continues moving, whether I keep pace with it or not. That used to trouble me. Now it feels like relief. I have learned that it is all right to watch instead of participate, to listen instead of respond. Quiet days offer that choice without judgment. Nothing today asks me to improve myself. Nothing asks me to justify my pace. I am already here. And that is enough. As the hours pass, the light changes almost without notice. The room seems to hold itself. Just as it always has. I once believed that meaning came from doing, from being needed, from staying busy. Now I understand that meaning can also come from stillness, from allowing the day to unfold without interference. Some days are quieter because they trust us. They don't rush in to distract us or fill every space. They offer room instead, room to rest, room to notice what remains when nothing new is added. The afternoon passes gently without ceremony. Ordinary moments do not need to announce themselves to be important. They carry their own quiet weight. As evening approaches, the stillness deepens. It does not feel heavy. It feels settled, like something finding its natural place. Rest, I have learned, is not the same as stopping. Rest is part of living. Nori stays nearby. The room stays, nothing needs to be added, and nothing needs to be taken away. This quiet does not need to be filled or explained. It is something to keep, something to return to when the world feels too loud. So I stay with it, just as it is.